Gentlemen and gentlemen, today you're going to see race 3 and 4 from the GLTC race in Gingerman, and I start 13th in race 3 after, if you watched the last video, we climbed after getting DQ'd in race 1, winning race 1 and then getting DQ'd. We dropped to 50th place and we climbed back up to 13th in the second race. Granted, there were some cars missing in that race, so we didn't climb that many spots, but it was 27 or 30 or something like that. Anyway, so we start at 13th. We only make up a few positions in this race, but we had some of the best racing of the weekend with my buddies. It was a lot of fun, and get ourselves in a decent position for a possible invert to help us out in race 4. Stay tuned. So, yeah, enjoy this race. there you go. That was race 4. Cheeky, right? Yeah, so I knew getting a quick start was going to be the key to winning that race for me, and I even told Eric and Luke, I was like, man, if I get a chance into turn 1, I'm going to take it. I just wanted them to be aware. And so we did a little racy move there. Got a little bit of a little gap and a little run before the green drops, and probably won't do that again in the future. That's, I don't know, it's something that pretty much everybody does, and timing it is really tough, but it's kind of slimy, and I don't feel that good about it. In fact, that race would have been a lot more fun had I not done it, because I would have at least been out banging around with some buddies. So I got, the ultimate goal was winning, and I won that race. It was just basically lap after lap of nothing in my windshield, which is absolutely what you hope for, kind of, but it's obviously less fun than playing with your buddies. So no reason to show you that if, well, yeah, it's nothing to look at. Anyway, let's have a talk. So right after that race, they impounded me, which is great, because I think a lot of people thought I've been cheating. So it was really nice to have them pull me straight to the dyno. They had a guy in the car the whole time to make sure I wasn't flipping buttons or grabbing a laptop or something, and so they could dyno it immediately after the race to the rules, and we were absolutely good to go. In fact, our best run was 5 horsepower under. Our worst run was 11 horsepower under. Obviously that had to do with heat soak and whatnot, but so we were basically right on our number, a little under, but in running conditions we're probably right where we're supposed to be, which is what we confirmed on the dyno prior to this whole race starting. So that felt good. Plus we were 30 pounds over our weight after the race, which is probably a little more safety margin than we need, but this big boy needed a cool shirt to stay cool, because those races get pretty hot. As short as they are, it gets real hot. So let's have a talk, though. A couple days after that race, we get the word that I want to decide how I want to say this, because it felt like a kick in the gut. I don't think it was necessarily directed just at me, but it sure felt like it. So they said, we're basically not going to allow those tires that Swenson was running anymore. So the 2 sets of wheels I bought and the 3 sets of tires I bought, 4 sets of tires that I bought planning to run those tires for the season are, well, we're going to have to change our strategy. But they didn't outlaw them, but they did in my size. So not only do you have to take a 4%, but they don't exist anymore. So they basically are now calling those Yokohamas a Hoosier. So I don't know. I was a bit upset, but I understand the goal here is parity, and they want the cars to be equal. And but it seems silly to me to, after just a couple of race wins on those, Hoosiers have won I don't know how many races, and that's okay, and Hondas have won I don't know how many races, and that's okay, but you get a Corvette up there and all of a sudden there's a lot of red flags. So I don't know, it's super frustrating to have gone through what we went through. We've spent all of my prize money and then some from Optima. Thank you, Optima, appreciate it. And build a car to the rules, and now the rules are changing as we go. So we got to figure out how much of a, is it a moving target that I'm chasing? Is it just me? It seems like it's just me, but obviously everyone has to follow the same rules. But we'll see how it goes moving forward. I hope we can have a better showing, I guess, and not cause waves. I'm not trying to cause problems for anybody or make waves, but still pretty frustrating when you devote the amount of energy and time and money to this series, and then all of a sudden now the rules are changing immediately, not like giving you a chance to really go out and prove what you've built and what you've got. And I guess people need to know too what kind of person I am. I'm the type of guy that will do what it takes to win, and this is just a hurdle. We'll get past it and we'll do something else. And I'm gonna go do what it takes to win. And we're not getting slower. Every week we come back from racing, we're not getting slower. We're not, hurting the car. We're making it better every time. We're learning. You can see the huge jumps we've made from Coda. The car has gotten so much better, and I'm getting more comfortable, which is huge in something like this where you're running with 50 other guys. Comfort and confidence is enormous. And my biggest goal is to be clean. You'll see, like, I'm really, really easy around guys. I don't run into them. I'm not trying to hit them. I would never. I don't even want a bump draft. Maybe at Road America, we'll see. But I don't even want to touch anybody out there. So you can see in my videos, my racing is, I try to be as clean as absolutely possible. And I sure hope I can maintain that and still be competitive. So where do we go from here? We've got a few options. We can go to a Nankang, which is, I believe, completely unproven in this series. I don't think anyone's ever run them. And those will fit these wheels that I bought. So I did order 3 sets of those. And so I think I'll probably go that way because my other option is to run a 275 R7. And on a big car like mine, that seems, I don't know, that seems like that might not be the way to go, because you're giving up quite a bit of width. But also I don't know, the argument with the Yoko is that they aren't falling off like they expected them to. And I like to think it's because I'm doing a good job of managing them. I think not only myself, but the car, it's a 51% or 50-50 basically weight distribution. And I like to think that I can maintain grip and not slide it too much, because it's really easy to overdrive those and cook them. But they've made their decision, and so if you want to run Yokos, don't expect to be competitive. And I'll have some for sale here pretty soon, probably. So if anybody needs some, I probably will be your guy. Anyway, 2 weeks from now, we have Autobahn Country Club in Chicago, and that's our next race. So we are preparing for that. The car was so good, there's very little that we're going to have to do. I don't think I even am going to change the oil, because that was fresh right before it. I'll just put a fresh filter in it. And nut and bolt the car. Nothing that you need to see. It's nothing exciting. Update, fuel cell was improved. I don't think I ever told you what happened. So NCM, we had put a brand new fuel cell in, a Pyrotect, and we were having fuel starve issues in certain corners at only like half full. Man, 8 minutes. Sorry, if you're with me, congrats and thank you. Anyway, we were having some issues, and we found out that one of the check balls in the little interior surge tank thing was not there. It was just floating around. So we've fixed that, and it seems to be a non-issue at Gingerman. So I think we're good to go moving forward there. The Cool Shirt tank, lifesaver. If you don't have one of those, get one. I'm not sponsored. Doesn't matter to me if you sweat to death or not. Actually, it does. I don't want anybody dying. But it is super hot in those race cars, and having a Cool Shirt is so nice. And I've got the little thing for my helmet too, so I run cool water through my helmet, and it helps a little bit, but you don't feel it like you do in the Cool Shirt, where it almost is too cold at first. So anyway, otherwise the car was really good. Thank you to my sponsors. There's so many people that support me, just this fat guy from Minnesota that loves racing, and I'm really competitive, and I plan and hope to do right by your companies that have supported me, because without you I wouldn't be where I am, and I won't forget that, and I appreciate it. So thank you, and you all know who you are. So that's going to do it for this episode. Leave me some comments on your thoughts on the whole rules thing, and if I'm just being a crybaby, or I don't know. Tell me what you think. Thank you all for watching. Love you. Smash buttons, smooches. things like that. Goodbye.